told your friend you're not okay.
Today's entertainment world isn't just fast-paced. It spins like a giant vortex, swallowing trends, creating icons, and then forgetting them within months. But amidst this relentless flow, one figure has emerged who is becoming increasingly clear, stronger, and more recognized. A figure whose name not only fills the charts, but also shapes the world's perception of a country. He is Jungkook. While many stars are born from sensation and dimmed by controversy, Jungkook stands as an anomaly. He proves one crucial point: fame can be built overnight, but influence is shaped only by character. And it is this character that has earned him the top spot as the individual singer with the most positive impact on South Korea's national image. Strikingly, the announcement didn't spark much commotion. There was no lengthy debate, no commotion, not even a dissenting voice attempting to deny it. The world's reaction was simple: yes, this is indeed deserved. Jungkook never declared, "I am the face of Korea." But the world saw it that way, because it judges by actions, not claims. He emerged as a figure watched by young musicians, respected by the international industry, and admired by people across countries. Jungkook embodies the face of a Korean generation: disciplined, mentally stable, hardworking, yet humble. This is the era when an artist becomes not just an idol, but a moral standard for the generations that follow. His journey is more than just a decade-long story. He is a living demonstration of what consistency means: stable vocal quality, an unwavering practice ethic, immaculate public demeanor, and a respect for every stage, both small and large. There was never a phase where fame made him underestimate the process. There was never a time when ego dominated his personality. The world trusted him not because he was perfect, but because he always sought to improve. For many people outside Asia, South Korea first came to them not from history books or political documentation, but from music and public figures. And one of the faces they see most often is Jungkook. Never selling drama, never turning pain into content, never using conflict as a tool for popularity. He chose a far more difficult path, a clean path. And because of that, each of his achievements feels purer, more meaningful. Jungkook's strongest influence is seen among young people, those motivated to work hard, practice, learn discipline, and understand that the right process is more important than quick results. Jungkook never positioned himself as a mentor, but his attitude transformed into a life lesson for those who followed him. This is the kind of influence that doesn't disappear overnight. It's a legacy. In today's digital age, when popularity is often pursued with controversy, Jungkook demonstrates that integrity still has a place. That quality is still respected. That sincerity still has global appeal. This #1 ranking won't be remembered for its numbers, but for its context. The world is saturated with noise, and Jungkook emerges as a powerful calm. He stands at the forefront of a positive image of South Korea. But his journey isn't over. He continues to move forward, not in a hurry, but with the maturity of an artist who understands that time is not an enemy, but a companion. His career flourishes not because he chases the spotlight, but because the spotlight follows the sincerity he exudes. Every stage he steps on becomes a reflection of how ambition can coexist with humility. How success doesn't have to rob humanity. How an artist can remain a genuine human being even though the world holds him in such high regard. There were no grand campaigns. No national slogans. No marketing strategies designed to shape his image. Everything was shaped by one thing: Jungkook himself. The way he worked when cameras were off. The way he cherished every opportunity. The way he approached his profession as a responsibility, not a trophy. And ultimately, his legacy lies not just in chart-topping songs, but in trust and respect. Because when people mention his name, they're not just talking about a superstar, but about someone who carefully navigated his journey and left a truly meaningful mark. And now, with his name firmly established as the most positive influence on South Korea's image, the next chapter in Jungkook's journey is beginning to feel like a more mature, calmer, and far more powerful phase. The world now sees him not just as a rising star, but as a symbol of stability rare in the entertainment industry. With every step he takes, it's clear that Jungkook isn't chasing new titles or additional accomplishments. He moves like someone who has learned that the greatest influence comes when we don't try to show it. And that paradox is what's making South Korea increasingly seen as a nation that produces quality talent and people of proven character. Even behind the scenes, countless small stories reinforce that image: tales of how Jungkook treats his team, how he remains humble when receiving praise, how he admits fear but still moves forward. These rarely told stories are the foundation of the public perception that he's not just a superstar, but someone who can be trusted. His international recognition is beginning to shift the course of the global conversation about South Korea. The country is no longer seen simply as a hub for K-pop or the entertainment industry, but as a birthplace of figures who have built a positive reputation with elegance and integrity. Jungkook stands at the point where influence transforms into gentle diplomacy, soft power that never once imposes force. And most interestingly, the world seems to sense that Jungkook still has a long way to go. He's preparing something he's slowly building with the same patience he used to build his career in the early days of his debut. It's not something that explodes suddenly, but something polished with the meticulousness of an artist who values the process more than applause. While many artists pursue visual perfection, Jungkook chooses a more human path: honesty. He doesn't hide his anxieties, he doesn't pretend to be strong. And because of this, the younger generation sees him not as a distant and unattainable figure, but as a living example that being human doesn't prevent us from being extraordinary. Every time he takes the stage, the atmosphere feels different. The audience doesn't just see the performance, they feel the value. Every song he sings seems to carry a silent message, that hard work doesn't need to be announced, that a quiet journey often yields a longer-lasting impact, that sincerity never loses its place even when the world changes. And as this narrative continues to move forward, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Jungkook isn't just strengthening South Korea's image. He's refining it. He's beautifying it. He's making the world understand that behind every great work, there's a person who values the process, ethics, and the people around them. This is the phase where Jungkook is no longer just a representative of a Korean generation, he's become a benchmark. A benchmark for how an artist can lead a nation without slogans, without campaigns, without claims. A benchmark for how influence can grow from character, not just works. And a benchmark for how an individual can stand as a cultural bridge that allows the world to see South Korea through a warmer, more positive, more human lens. This journey isn't over yet. In fact, it's just entering its most defining chapter, a chapter that will show how an artist at the top still chooses to walk humbly, maintains his values, and continues to shine without blinding it. And as long as Jungkook maintains that direction, the world will continue to see South Korea as he sees it: disciplined, sincere, dedicated, and always moving forward with dignity.